Hey folks, this is Nate coming at you. It's been a minute. Haven't put up too many videos as of late. Just sort of been really busy with work and my kid going through summer school classes and having all kinds of fun and doing family stuff. So, but today I wanted to try and get caught up on some new acquisitions. So for the last couple of months, I've sort of been on this buying frenzy. Uh, I won't say how much I've spent. I'm embarrassed to even think about it. But I've sort of been on this really big buying frenzy, sort of ramping up my collection again. Now that I sort of have the funds freed up to do it. So it's been a lot of fun. So pretty much starting from mid-April, I started collecting a lot more stuff on the secondary market, as well as some stuff from Bendu Armory, Saber Trio, and then a few other places. And so what I wanted to do today is this is sort of like video 2 of my new acquisitions. I think I made a video a couple of weeks ago with my new Star Harbor hilts, the two Revan MK1 Revan Crusaders that I got from Star Harbor from Levi Newell, and then also picked up a couple of empty Saberforge Grandmaster Satil Shang hilts from Omar Zavala on the secondary market. And then also picked up a second Pock Story Unicron V3 to sort of pair up with the original one that I got. And then I also picked up a second empty Electrum Sabercrafts Evaflex that I got on the secondary market from a cool guy. And then also the DV6 SKU mashup saber that I picked up too. So I think I've gone through those, and those are sort of so those are sort of in the queue to get their install TLC. So hopefully in a couple of months I'll have those back installed with Profi 3.9 boards. But today what I wanted to show, there were I did get a couple of empties. So as most of you probably know, Saberforge is sort of discontinuing their apprentice line, and so they were doing like a 30 or 40% off on a lot of their apprentice line hilts. So I went and picked up a second Eris, because that's basically my favorite hilt from Saberforge is the Eris. So I went and picked up a second one of those, and I also picked up a Renegade. I've always liked the Renegade style. Never owned one though, so I went and picked up a weathered Renegade, and then I also picked up a wrapped Disciple hilt for my daughter because she really likes that one too. So picked up like 3 hilts from Saberforge for, I think it was something like $40 a piece or something. It was really cheap. But and you all have seen those. You know what those look like. But today there's 2 very special pieces that I wanted to show. The first one is an empty that I recently put out an ISO request for, and this really polite, very nice guy out of Ontario replied back to me and said, "Hey, I have one of these." He's like, "I have the electronics in him, and this thing has been broken for a long time, and I just don't use it anymore." He's like, "I'd be perfectly willing to sell the hilt to you if you want." This is a weathered Electrum Sabercrafts Torrent. So this is Electrum's second hilt that they ever came out with, I believe. I think the first one, if I'm not mistaken, was I want to say their Remnant. I forget what their first one was, but the Torrent was their second hilt that they ever came out with. I've always liked this hilt. I love the hourglass shape on this. It's really comfortable, and as most of you know, I like to buy sabers that are really amenable to just use, swinging, fighting, spinning, whatever. I'm not too big into sabers that are like super ornate, as much as I'd love to look at them and appreciate them. I'm not particularly good at owning them and caring for them. I tend to go for sabers that are sort of more like this, which is why you see me with a lot of Saber Trio, a lot of Bendu Armory stuff, and the like. Those are sort of the sabers that I get a lot of use out of. KR sabers, flagship, stuff like that. Anyway, so this is the Torrent. And as you can see, so the guy who sold this to me basically took the broken electronics out and then just sent it to me empty. Now this hilt breaks apart in two pieces. Basically, the pommel unscrews from here. So it's like a pommel retention screw right here. So you just take that, and then this end piece slides right out here. And then this had a little bit of, I think he ordered it this way from Electrum. They did like a little weathering job, and then he did some additional work on the grip section, I think. So this is going to go for an install fairly soon. And what's going to happen is there's going to be some tactile switches put in here, much like my Evaflex, right? And then likely some blinkies, possibly, maybe not. But anyway, I can't wait to get this installed and to use this, because it's a beautiful saber hilt. I love this hilt. It's very clean, very simple, but it's a very elegant design. And I also love this sort of shrouded pommel design, and it gets really good sound venting. This as well. So that's acquisition number 1 of my part 2. Acquisition number 2 is a really special one. So this was more of an impulse. This was definitely an impulse buy. Saber Trio had recently had an RTS sale where they did some Asagach stuff. And I was originally looking at the Sojourner's Reach Vectra, which was sort of this brown, sort of chocolate / light brown Asagach mix. And then there was also a Vulcan Asagach that I was hoping to get. Completely missed out on the Vulcan. That thing went out really quickly. But I also saw that right around the same time, or maybe a week later, David Q of the Saber Museum out in Singapore was also doing sort of this 10% off sale where he was selling off some hilts to make room for some new ones, some new pieces. And one of them was the Saber Trio Vulcan, which was, I think this was named the Elemental Spire when Saber Trio originally did this. So this was one that was Asagach by Saber Trio on one of their previous RTS sales. And I don't know if David originally was the one that purchased this or if he bought it from somebody else. But he had it in his Saber Museum for a little while, and then recently put it up for sale. And at 10% off of what it's worth, I was like, yeah, I gotta get this, because I've been wanting a Vulcan for a long time, and being able to get a hold of one that has a really beautiful etching job, is just all that much better. So I love the little sort of hieroglyphic style design on this. Now the only odd thing about this is this is currently the only CFX saber I own. This thing was so pretty that I had to ignore the fact that this wasn't Profi and get it anyway. And what I'm hoping to do is to work with an installer down the line to basically just have them rewire the saber to Profi to take out the CFX board, because I'm not really a CFX guy. But this is the original Saber Trio installation. So this is their new, or not, I guess it's not really new anymore. This is sort of their new design as of late 2021, when they sort of did their silent upgrade on the modified 22mm Veco speakers. This was sort of the new chassis design that they did for all of their sabers at that point. So, and it's a nice design. It's a nice chassis. No problems with that. And what's funny was originally I thought it was Profi when I bought it, but as soon as I opened it up, because the first thing I do when I buy a Saber rig is I open it up to start putting a fig on it. I opened it up and I was like, oh, weird, there's no kill switch on here. It's a CFX. That's how I knew it was a CFX, is that there's no kill switch on here. It's just a recharge port. So I was like, oh, that must mean it has real deep sleep. And I know Profi doesn't have real deep sleep, so this has got to be a CFX board. And then sure enough, I'm like, I wonder. So I held down the aux button.
Sound bank selection.
I'm like, oh, Spectrum mode. Yep, it's CFX.
Kylo Ren. Kill them all.
So yeah, super excited about owning this Saber. It's beautiful, and David, thank you very much. For those of you who have never, who are not familiar with the Saber Museum, I encourage you to check out his page on Facebook. He has got some beautiful pieces in the Saber Museum. A super nice guy to talk to and to get to know. And on the occasion where you might actually do some business with him, if he's either buying from you or selling, he's a super great guy to work with. Can't recommend him enough. Just a really, really nice guy. And his museum has some absolutely stunning Saber pieces. From every top end Saber manufacturer you can think of. Just some really beautiful rare pieces that some which you might not see anywhere else. So David, thank you again. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Thank you so much for selling this to me and for sending it to me so quickly and so carefully. This thing, not even a dent on the box when it got to me. It was packed just perfectly. So I'm going to enjoy this, even with the CFX board for now. And then I'll likely enjoy it just a little bit more once I get a Profi board in here. So those are the two that I wanted to share with y'all today. Was the Elemental Spire Vulcan and the Electrum Sabercrafts Torrent. And then hopefully soon on my next part 3 video of new acquisitions. I've got a new sleeve coming in from Bendu Armory, which I'm going to be really excited to demo for people. And then I've also got something coming in from Saber Trio from their RTS sale that I did manage to pick up, which is a really nice piece. So I've got those two coming up. And there's a third one too, but I forget what it is. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Oh yeah, I've got a Revan Saber coming in as well. Which I think it's an 89 Sabers Revan that I've got coming in. That's it's either painted red or painted black, but it should be here in like a week or so. All right, y'all, take care. May the Force be with you.